What if you could sip world-famous Ceylon tea in a misty hill town, and then trek to a hidden paradise at the edge of the world, all in just a few hours? In Sri Lanka, this isn't just possible, it's an everyday reality. This island is more than just beaches and temples. It's home to breathtaking landscapes, ancient wonders, and hidden gems waiting to be explored. Whether you're planning your next adventure or just dreaming of an escape, stay with me. We'll uncover fascinating facts about Sri Lanka and take you on a journey through its secret treasures, vibrant wildlife, and timeless traditions, places so stunning you won't believe they exist. Fun facts about Sri Lanka. Imagine an island where ancient history meets breathtaking landscapes, where spices, tea, and gemstones have shaped global trade for centuries. Sri Lanka, often called the teardrop of India due to its shape and proximity to the subcontinent, holds over 2,500 years of recorded history, making it a land rich in cultural significance. It is the birthplace of cinnamon, a prized spice that has been traded globally for over 2 millennia. Renowned for its world-famous Ceylon tea, Sri Lanka plays a key role in global trade, with its tea considered among the finest in the world. The island's flag, one of the oldest still in use, carries deep symbolism representing unity and diversity. Beyond its cultural heritage, Sri Lanka is famed for its precious gemstones, particularly sapphires, which have been sought after for centuries. Cricket isn't just a sport here, it's a national passion deeply woven into everyday life. The island is home to 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, a testament to its grand history, and was once connected to India by an ancient land bridge, known as Adam's Bridge. With a tropical climate shaped by 2 monsoon seasons, Sri Lanka stands as a vibrant cultural crossroads where Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, and Christianity coexist harmoniously. Before we dive into exploring Sri Lanka, a land of breathtaking landscapes, rich heritage, and hidden gems, don't forget to hit like to support the channel and subscribe so you never miss an inspiring travel story. Nestled in Sri Lanka's hill country at an elevation of 1,041 meters, Yala feels like a gateway to another world. Rolling tea plantations blend seamlessly with mist-covered mountains, creating a landscape that seems almost untouched by time. The town's most famous feature, Eliya, is a breathtaking valley carved into the southern mountain wall, revealing distant views that stretch all the way to the coastal plains. Just a short journey away, the Nine Arches Bridge stands as a testament to early 20th century engineering. Built in 1921 during British colonial rule, its 9 grand arches support trains as they weave through lush greenery. Remarkably, this structure was built entirely from stone, brick, and cement, without a single piece of steel. For those craving adventure, Little Adams Peak rises 1,141 meters above sea level, offering a rewarding yet accessible hike. Reaching its summit reveals a panoramic view of Eliya and the vast valleys beyond. Thanks to the area's unique microclimate, cool mountain air and frequent mist create the perfect environment for tea cultivation. Even today, tea factories in Yala continue to process hand-picked leaves using machinery that dates back over a century, preserving a tradition that has defined the region for generations. Further north, rising dramatically from the central plains, Sigiriya Rock Fortress stands as one of Sri Lanka's most awe-inspiring landmarks. Towering 200 meters above the surrounding landscape, this ancient stronghold was built in the 5th century by King Kashyapa as both a royal palace and an impenetrable fortress. The most iconic feature of Sigiriya is its lion gate, which once took the form of a colossal lion, carved from brick and stone. Though the head has long since collapsed, its massive paws still guard the final ascent to the summit. Along the western face of the rock, the Sigiriya frescoes depict celestial maidens, their vibrant colors remarkably preserved for over 1,500 years. Below, an intricate hydraulic system continues to feed the royal water gardens, its network of channels and fountains still functioning centuries later. Another fascinating feature is the mirror wall, once polished so highly that it reflected like glass. Today, this wall bears over 1,800 pieces of ancient graffiti, with inscriptions dating as far back as the 8th century. To reach the summit, visitors must climb 1,200 limestone steps, a journey that rewards them with sweeping views of the ancient gardens and the dense jungle stretching beyond the horizon. Stretching across Sri Lanka's southeastern coast, Yala National Park is a land where wilderness meets history, where the raw beauty of nature coexists with ancient ruins. As the country's most visited and second-largest national park, Yala's landscape shifts from dense jungle to open grasslands, from sun-baked earth to shimmering coastal lagoons. But what truly sets this park apart is its famed leopard population. Nowhere else in the world do these elusive predators roam in such high density. Whether lounging across tree branches or silently stalking prey through the undergrowth, Yala's leopards are a sight to behold. Beyond these magnificent cats, the park shelters 44 species of mammals, from sloth bears and elephants to crocodiles lurking in the wetlands. Scattered throughout are ancient Buddhist ruins, remnants of civilizations that once thrived here, adding a layer of history to the wild terrain. The coastline, marked by massive rock formations and untouched beaches, becomes a sanctuary for nesting sea turtles, while the skies come alive with over 215 species of birds, drawing enthusiasts from around the world. Yala's landscape undergoes dramatic transformations with its 2 monsoon seasons. Dusty plains morph into a lush, green paradise, proving that nature here is as dynamic as it is breathtaking. Further along Sri Lanka's southwestern coast, Galle Fort stands as a testament to colonial history, its stone ramparts holding centuries of stories. Originally built by the Portuguese in the 16th century, it was later fortified by the Dutch in the 17th century, creating the best-preserved colonial stronghold in all of South Asia. Despite the passage of time, and even the force of a tsunami, its massive walls remain standing, encircling 130 acres of history, where colonial-era buildings now house bustling cafes, boutique hotels, and art galleries. One of its most iconic landmarks is the Galle Lighthouse. Built in 1939, standing proudly at the fort's southern edge, watching over the harbor that once made Galle a critical trading port. Nearby, the Dutch Reformed Church, built in 1755, carries echoes of the past with its gravestone-paved floors, each slab bearing the name of a forgotten soul from a bygone era. The fort's narrow streets, still following the original Dutch grid layout, wind between structures that fuse European design with South Asian craftsmanship. As the sun sets, the ramparts become a gathering place, where locals and visitors alike watch the horizon turn gold, while below, a timeless game of cricket unfolds on the grassy expanse. Perhaps most remarkably, during the 2004 tsunami, Galle Fort's coral and limestone walls shielded the inner city, preserving not just its history, but the lives of those within. The Central Highlands of Sri Lanka are home to Nuwara, Eliya, also known as Little England, which is 1,868 meters above sea level. There are still brightly dressed tea pluckers who use traditional ways to hand-pick leaves across the landscape of meticulously maintained tea estates. With its Tudor-style hotels, Victorian-era post office, and one of Asia's oldest 18-hole golf courses, built in 1889, the city maintains its colonial charm. British Governor William Gregory constructed Lake Gregory in 1873. It reflects the hills around it and is frequently veiled in morning fog. Extreme heat, with highs of more than 68 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius, is unusual for Sri Lanka. Because of the mild winters, plants like flowers and vegetables that are common in European gardens can thrive here. The Pedro Tea Estate has been making some of the most coveted high-grown teas in the world since its founding in 1885, and they still use the same old gear. Nearby is Horton Plains National Park, where the terrain abruptly descends 870 meters to the end of the world. Mirissa Beach. Situated on the southern coast of Sri Lanka, Mirissa has seen a remarkable metamorphosis from a sleepy fishing hamlet into a tropical haven, all while preserving its genuine allure. Coconut palms sway and drape over the golden sand as the crescent-shaped beach spans for almost 1 kilometer. One notable feature is Parrot Rock, a small rocky outcrop that protrudes into the ocean and provides breathtaking sunset views of the shoreline. When these majestic animals migrate down the coast from November to April, this area's waters become among the greatest places on Earth to see them. A little hike through jungle paths leads to Secret Beach, a secret cove with crystal-clear waters and natural bathing pools made by rock formations. The payoff for the effort is well worth it. Waves here are great for novices and pros alike, thanks to the beach's prime location. Evenings bring the shoreline to life with lantern-lit beach bars, and locals still engage in traditional stilt fishing at sunrise and sunset. This is Kandy. Perched in a valley encircled by hazy mountains, Kandy served as the final capital of the ancient monarchs of Sri Lanka. The Holy Temple of the Tooth is front and center. It contains the most revered relic in Buddhism, a gilded coffin containing a tooth of the Buddha. The temple complex, which was constructed in 1595 and showcases elaborate Kandian architecture, attracts thousands of white-clad pilgrims every day to its golden roof shrine. Kandy Lake, an artificial body of water constructed by Sri Lanka Singh, the last monarch, in 1807, forms the urban core. The Royal Botanical Gardens at Paradania, which have been there since 1821, feature more than 4,000 plant varieties, including an unusual assortment of orchids. During the 10-day Asala Parahira celebration, which is the cultural highlight of Kandy, elephants that are adorned with intricate decorations parade along streets that are lit up by torches. The city was recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site due to its spiritual value. Workshops here still make complex wood carvings, and you may see spectacular Kandian dance performances every day. Hirikatiya, a horseshoe-shaped bay on the southern coast of Sri Lanka, is the epitome of tropical peace and surfing heaven. Two separate surf breaks are formed by the irregular shape of the bay. One side features a mild beach break that's great for newbies, while the other features a more advanced reef break that's popular among pros. Sea winds throughout the years have bent the trunks of the ancient palm trees that flank the shore at impossible angles. Hirikatiya is unique among southern beaches in that it is swimmable all year round, thanks to its protected position. Even during the monsoon season, the waters in the bay's center remain calm. A slower pace of life permeates the surrounding hillside jungle communities, where traditional Sri Lankan villages can be found. As the sun rises, we see the local fishermen setting sail from the eastern end of the beach in their typical wooden boats. An ideal location for snorkeling, the bay's underwater landscape features coral structures that entice a variety of fish. Temple at the Dambulla Caves. The Dambulla Cave Temple is 160 meters above the plains below, perched on top of a huge granite outcrop. One of the most ornate and well-preserved Buddhist temple complexes, these 5 caverns date back to the 1st century BCE. 3 statues of rulers of Sri Lanka for statues of Hindu gods and 153 statues of Buddha are all housed in the caverns. The 2,100 square meters of elaborate frescoes covering the cave ceilings are the most impressive feature. The frescoes reflect important events from the life of Buddha and Sri Lankan history. A 14-meter-tall Buddha sculptured from solid rock can be seen in the first cave, which is named the Cave of the Divine King. The original artwork, which was produced more than 2,000 years ago, can still be seen on the cave walls. Skillfully sculpted into the rock above the caverns, the drop ledge redirects precipitation away from the priceless antiquities within. There are 42 sitting Buddha statues and 16 standing ones in the Great King's Cave, the biggest cave in the complex. A place called Polonnaruwa. Polonnaruwa, a historic capital that flourished from the 11th to the 13th century, is the apex of Sri Lankan engineering and architecture. A reclining Buddha measuring 14 meters in length is one of 4 enormous Buddha statues sculpted from a single granite wall at the Galle, the focal point of the city. An artificial lake that stands as a monument to the advanced irrigation systems of ancient Sri Lanka is the 2,500-hectare Parakrama Samudra. This enormous reservoir, which was constructed in the 12th century, is still used today to supply water for crops and animals. In the circular relic house, known as the Vatadage, there are 4 entrances guarded by intricate stone carvings. The center Dagava used to have a golden cap, Standing at 17 meters tall, the Lokatilaka temple's walls display remnants of the white stucco that formerly adorned its brick framework. Unique column sculptures of dwarfs, lions, and elephants adorn the audience hall, while the adjacent royal palace complex boasts a gigantic 7-story building that formerly included 1,000 rooms. Arugam Bay, which winds its way along the eastern coast of Sri Lanka, is well known as one of the best surfing spots in Asia. From May through October, surfers from all over the globe go to Main Point Break, or just Main Point, as the headland has absolutely constant waves. Just south of here, at Elephant Rock, you'll find a difficult surfing area and, more often than not, wild elephants roaming the surrounding Lahogala National Park. Thanks to its dry microclimate, the bay experiences less rainfall than the rest of Sri Lanka, resulting in perfect surf conditions all year round. At dawn, traditional fishing boats can be seen dotting the shoreline, while the adjacent Padava Lagoon is home to a variety of birds, such as painted storks and uncommon raptors. Despite its international surfing prominence, the hamlet has maintained its laid-back atmosphere. Buried in the bush are ancient Buddhist ruins that attest to the area's historical importance. The phosphorescent plankton in the ocean around Whiskey Point, another famous surf spot, are responsible for the spectacular nighttime light displays. Anuradhapura. The most significant historic Buddhist city in Sri Lanka is Anuradhapura, which was once a magnificent holy capital and ruled for more than 1,000 years. Constructed in the 3rd century, the 122-meter-tall Jetavana Ramaya Dagoba used bricks strong enough to hold 93 million tons. It was the tallest brick construction in the world at the time. The Srimahi Bodhi, originally from a cutting of the original Bodhi tree beneath which Buddha obtained enlightenment, is the oldest tree in the world, planted in 288 BCE. It is the center of the temple. The Abhigira monastery complex, which was once home to 5,000 Buddhist monks, covered an expansive 200 hectares and, at its highest point, included a gigantic dagoba that was second in size only to the pyramids of Giza. The hemispherical dome of the white, perfectly proportioned Rawanwalizia stupa is a technical wonder. Sri Lanka's first dagoba, the Thuparamaya, displays the island's earliest Buddhist construction and contains Buddha relics. Local farmers continued to get water from the Tasawa and Basawakulama reservoirs, which were part of the city's advanced irrigation system. Galle is a tranquil stretch of coast in southern Sri Lanka that boasts both beautiful beaches and rich history. Sheltered coves and exposed bays cover the coast, with centuries of ocean spray smoothing rocky headlands. Waves pound against these headlands. As its name suggests, Silent Beach is a peaceful haven with natural rock ponds that provide safe swimming spots when the tide is out. Dutch fort from the 18th century watches over the historic harbor, where fishing boats still bring in their catch every day, but it is smaller than the Galle fort. Rekowa Beach, which is close by, is a major nesting location for 5 different species of marine turtles in Sri Lanka. These turtles come ashore under the moonlight to lay their eggs. Frescoes from the Kandian period adorn the walls of ancient temple caves in the neighboring countryside. The area is dotted with several lagoons, which create brackish ecosystems and are home to traditional fishing methods. Kalpitiya is a small peninsula on the western coast of Sri Lanka that protrudes into the Indian Ocean at the point where the Puttalam Lagoon meets the water. From May through October, the region's flat lagoon waters are graced with strong, steady breezes, making it an ideal setting for kitesurfing. One legacy of the peninsula's strategic role in the colonial spice trade is the Dutch fort, which was completed in 1676. One of the biggest spinner dolphin gatherings in the world happens off the coast of Kalpitiya. Hundreds of dolphins in pods can be seen doing acrobatic tricks. Between December and March, you can see sperm whales and blue whales migrating through the waters around Alankuta Beach, which is known for its perfect stretch of sand. The mangrove forests of the lagoon are home to a wide variety of birds, including herons and flamingos, and also play an important role in the reproduction of many fish species. Located offshore, Bar Reef is home to more than 150 different species of coral and covers about 300 square kilometers, making it the biggest coral reef system in Sri Lanka. Port of Jaffna. Located at the very tip of Sri Lanka, the Tamil-speaking city of Jaffna has preserved its culture despite centuries of South Indian colonization. Constructed around 1618 by the Portuguese and later enlarged by the Dutch, the star-shaped Jaffna fort is the second-largest colonial fort in Sri Lanka that the Dutch left behind. Thousands of worshippers attend the 25-day annual celebration in August at the Nallur Kandaswamy Temple, which is considered the apex of Tamil architecture due to its golden arch towers. Flamingos float across salt pans that have harvested sea salt for ages in the Jaffna Lagoon's shallow waters, which sustain a distinct environment. Restored following a devastating fire in 1981, the public library now holds priceless manuscripts and works of Tamil literature. Delft Island is a great place to go ponyback riding amidst ancient coral formations and limestone outcrops. The island is reachable by boat and is home to wild ponies that are descendants of Dutch colonial stock. Mangoes, grapes, and palmyra palms thrive in the peninsula's red soil, which is complemented by the limestone bedrock. A beach in Unawatuna. The flawless crescent of golden sand at Unawatuna bends along the southern coast of Sri Lanka, shielded from the elements by a natural coral reef. All year round, swimmers and snorkelers can enjoy the bay's protected shallow waters because of the coral reef. Jungle Beach, reached after a brief hike through thick jungle, offers a quieter alternative to the main beach, with waters that are pristine and brimming with tropical fish. In the legend of the area, the location was pivotal. According to legend, the unique shape of the bay was formed when a giant fought a demon with a piece of Sri Lanka. In the midst of lush flora, inside the ancient Rumasala temple, traditional healers continue to collect therapeutic herbs thought to be remnants of those Hanuman dropped during the Ramayana epic. The beach is ideal for swimming all year round because to its mild curves, in contrast to many beaches in Sri Lanka's southern region. You get to make the call after we've seen you Sri Lanka's incredible sights, such as the tea-covered Yala Hills and the jaw-dropping Sigiriya Rock Fortress. Do you have a favorite Sri Lankan quote? If you want to see more exciting adventures, you should subscribe. Until our paths cross again in the next video.